Hey, it's me, Peter. You should play or at least try Limbus Company. Now, why would you play a gacha game? There is one mechanics. This game in a nutshell is just a bunch of Indonesian high schooler doing tower runs where you just match Candy Crush colors. Okay, sometimes you don't just match colors like a brainless monkey. Different situations require a different approach. Those Candy Crush colors, yeah, those are skills. And each skills have a different ways or mechanics, and sometimes have a condition to release the full power of your third skill. And those skills also have a sin type. Basically, in the simplest terms, a sin, it is what gives you extra power-ups. When a skill that is successfully performed by a character, the sin that is related to that skill will become ego points. Those ego points can be used for A, enable passive, or activate live passive skills. When the sins of the same type are chained, or B,
Follow the dark elvish power to eradicate your enemies into the shadow.
There are three damage types: slash, pierce, and blunt. Each enemies and characters have a different damage resistance: weak, normal, and resistant. If one enemy that is weak to a certain type and hit with that weak type, it will deal 2 times the damage. When hit with a normal type, it will deal 1 times the damage, and for the resistant type, it will deal 0.5 times the damage. Enemies and characters have a staggered threshold on their HP bar. If you or the enemies are damaged enough to pass that threshold, they will be stunned for 1 turn and sometimes cancel their oncoming attacks. And all damage type that is dealt to that character will be fatal, aka deal 2 times the damage. There are 2 game modes or fights. The normal ones are automatic, and the other one is called abnormality fights, where you can control everything except for speed. This is the game mode where you could truly strategize your next move, because you cannot freely choose which and what skill you wanted to use, as it is automatic, making you deal with any situation that the game gives you. But you can actually manipulate which skill order that's gonna pop out in the next turn. One thing that I don't like about gacha games is their dailies. But in here, you don't have dailies. You just log in, turn your anchor valid or stamina into boxes, collect the daily login Limbus Pass mission or Battle Pass in Fortnite terms, and log out. The only dailies you're gonna be doing is just for the Limbus Pass mission, and for me it's completely optional because you're gonna reach it eventually, and each season lasted longer than a month. So you'll have plenty of time if you start playing now, because the new Season 3 Bon Voyage just dropped. Then how are you supposed to get gacha currencies or free lunacy? Sometimes you get one free in the mail, completing story modes, Limbus Pass rewards, doing weekly mirror dungeons, and reading tier 3 characters story mode, making it unnecessary for you to play this game every day. As for the mirror dungeons, for the beginners, do the normal one. Sure, you have to complete those 3 times, but when you got a good enough team, you can try the hard version of it. And if you manage to complete that hard version, you can choose to consume pre-weekly bonuses that will give you the same amount of rewards as if you completed the normal mirror dungeons 3 times, reducing the amount of playtime you have on this game. 2. It's F2P friendly. There's no wailing in this game. Of course, the beginning will be hard, but you don't need to pull every unit in this gacha. Obvious, but here's a tip. If you want a smooth sailing as a new player, use a character that have a high coin power so they could win clashes, because in this game, damage sometimes doesn't matter if you win 99% of your clashes. LCB OTs and LCB Honglu, both unit or identities are what they are called in this game, are good for beginners even though they are base identities, solely because of their clashing power value. Basically, if you see a character with a high coin power equals neuron activation. But beware, other identities just suck regardless. 3. The story is good and simple to understand. This is solely my opinion. It's probably one of the most cliche things to say about gacha games having good stories. Who in this God's green earth actually read the stories when you have gacha currencies to earn? The key word here is simple. Arc Knight certainly have a good story, but I just hit the skip button because I don't care about this character who just randomly appears in the story. Genshin and Honkai Star Rail. Probably the only reason you're playing the story mode is because you need more Primo Gems or Cellar Gates to pull for your characters, because probably A, you lost your 50-50, or B, you don't have enough gacha currencies. Punishing Grey Raven, I love that game, but holy shit, I smashed that skip button. The only time I read the story is about Bianca Stigmata's affection story. They are, in my opinion, are complicated for you to understand it fully without looking through the character's personal files or even scattered secret lore dumps. You might have think that you need to play previous Project Moon games to understand the story, just like how you kinda have to in Library of Luna. I certainly don't, because I don't play Lobotomy, but you really don't need to do all that in Limbus Company, because Limbus Company is probably one of the only gacha games that I actually read the story, because unlike other gacha games that have a lot of characters that is hard to keep track of, in Limbus Company, the story only revolves around 12 idiots or sinners in this game, so it's easy to keep track of them and watching them actually having a character development. 4. Good designs. What? The characters are actually wearing practical colorings that complement the stories instead of it showing bare shoulders counters, the charge leaves, and glorified lingering? Impossible. But anyways, you heard me. The drip is there, the character is there, the story is there, just give us a try. Just do it. Come on, do it. I know you want to, just do it.